What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another YouTube live. So, again, if you have any questions, obviously put them on the live chat and I'm going to go through your questions. I have so many things to talk about today. So many things. There's a few things that I'm going to share with you, that I'm going to teach you that will make a difference. And how can you get to the next level in your IT career? And that can be for you to get the next job or for you to get your first job in IT. Because I know there are so many people right now that have one, maybe a few IT certifications. And they either don't have a job or they have a low paying job in IT. And I'm going to go through a few, I'm going to share a few things with you from my phone. That way you can see what can be possible for you. Because, I'm excited. I'm very excited because today one of my students, and I'm going to share this with you so you can be open minded. Okay. She ended up getting two job offers. Now, really think about this. How you have a lot of people out there, right? Unable to get a job in IT, or unable to upgrade that job they have to a better one. Because you probably know some of them, probably you are going through that yourself right now. So, how can someone have two offers, right? And the problem was, which one should I take? And that's one thing that I'm going to talk about today, because obviously this can help you on how you can get not just an offer, but you go through a process in just a few weeks and be able to get the job that you want. And that job obviously has to be a job that's going to pay you a lot more, right? Now I'm gonna go through a few things. I know a lot of you are asking about the membership site, and it's coming up in the next 2-3 weeks. It's just so much I have to do, guys. It's just so much that I have to do. And obviously, I don't want to be like everyone else, just giving you some technical content, because technical content will not transform your life, your IT career. You see, when a student sign up with me, they go through this process throughout the coaching program and they get me. And there's so many things been going on for the last few weeks, and I cannot wait for me to share some of them with you today. And just for you, well, I'm gonna wait probably a few minutes before I share one thing that's gonna blow your way, because I'm gonna share what a student is earning right now after 2.5 years being in IT. Okay, that way it can be like, wow, if that's happening for him, why not me? That's exactly why I'm gonna share what he sent me. I think it was last week, and I'm gonna share that with you because, again, that can be for you to think of. If he can get that income, why not me? You see, I'm not here for me to brag about myself, but I'm here to guide you on what other people have accomplished based on some advice and guidance that I have provided to them. And I know this can be obviously the same thing to you. And the other thing that I'm gonna go through, someone messaged me on Instagram, and I'm gonna go through a few questions, and I will tell you why I'm that, because again, it matters who you listen to. It really matters who you listen to. So now going back on that conversation, okay? Now going back on the conversation about this video. And because I know right now there are people out there, they have a few IT certifications. And I know a few, they have their Cisco CCNA, but they cannot get a job. And yes, they're probably going through that job interview process. They're probably getting a phone call, right, from a recruiter, from someone saying, hey, I see that you have some experience. I see that you end up getting your Cisco CCNA. I have an opportunity for you. Let's go through that interview process. But you go through it and you end up not getting that offer. So you're probably thinking, so what's going on? Now, I really need you for you to listen up, okay? Because you're thinking that answering that technical questions will get you the job. You're wrong. Not because you answer the technical questions correctly, that means you're going to get the job. That's a way on how to answer the questions. And again, probably you're thinking, okay, if I come up to you and let's say that I'm the manager, the engineer, you go through the job interview process. And I'm like, okay, let's say, David, we need someone that obviously knows networking. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. Can you tell me the difference between an IP address compared to a MAC address? Can you tell me what's the OSI model? Can you tell me the difference between a layer 2 switch compared to a layer 3 switch? Can you tell me the difference between TCP and UDP? And I know probably a lot of you can be like, yeah, man, I can tell you all about it. Yes, but you're probably going to provide a technical definition. It's like you giving me a technical lecture, because that's how you end up learning those topics. And that's exactly the way that you more likely answer that question, like everyone else will be answering that question. And this is one thing that I've been saying again and again and again. When you go through the job interview process, the way that you position yourself matters. And most people, like really, most people position themselves like, hey, I know the information that you are asking. And I know because I answer all the questions you ask the right way. So I know. Now, if you think that for them to think of you that you know will get you the job, you're wrong. You need to position yourself in a way for them. That can be the one, the two, probably three, four people they're going to end up talking to you throughout the job interview process. They need to think of you like this guy not only knows, but he can get the job done. Big difference. And really think about it, right? I ask you 5 questions. And I'm like, and you answer all questions properly, all of them, right? All of them. And you feel good about it. I'm like, yes, I'm going to get this job because I end up answering all the questions. But what about the other candidates? And that's exactly the conversation going on. Me probably saying, okay, so David answered all the questions. So he knows, and he knows a lot. Yeah. But what about Tony? Well, Tony answered all the questions as well. So yeah, he knows a lot. Yeah. Now, what about, Brian? What about Brian? Well, Brian answered all the questions too. And I really like that guy, and he seems that he knows a lot, has some experience. Okay. Well, what about, Julian? What about him? Well, he answered all the questions too. And I like him a lot too. Okay. So the question is, who out of the candidates can get the job done? I don't know. I mean, all of them seems that know a lot, but someone that can get the job done, I don't know, Like, I didn't see that from any of them. Okay, let's move on to go through more candidates. And you see, you lose. Right there, done. And you're thinking, no, they're going to call me because I answer all the questions. But that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Again, the way that you go through the job interview process matters. And one thing that you have to completely be really good at, not just good at, really great at, and how you answer the technical questions. That's the reason why you're not getting the job. Or there's a reason why that many people are not getting the job out there. Okay? And I'm going to go through a scenario that I keep teaching a lot of the students inside the coaching and answering questions. And I'm going to get back because I really need you for you to take notes on everything that I'm saying, because I'm really giving you gold here. Let me just share one thing with you guys really quick. So I'm going to go and let me look him up. Now, again, you can reach out to him, right? This is, again, I'm being completely transparent. And I know there have been a few people reaching out saying, Jorge, I know you talk about some of your students, some of the testimonials, but we never see them on YouTube, or we never see them doing a video with them. Well, that's coming, obviously, because the membership. But again, I'm sharing the information right now because the same information that I'm sharing with you, that's exactly what changed the lives of many students. The same information. Obviously, I cannot give you all of it in just one session, but I know the few things that I'm going through can really help you for you to make that difference. Now, just imagine, right, that you were able to earn this much. And I know you can probably see that. And that's the name of the one of the students. I know you can probably see it. Come on. There we go. There we go. You probably don't see the screen. Come on. You have to see it. You have to see it. Can anyone tell me if you can see this, the screenshot? That one. There we go. There we go. Right there. $7,000 in his pocket. $7,000. Now, how much are you earning a month? Really, how much are you earning by the end of the month? How much? $1,800, $3,000, maybe $4,000 if you have an okay job. Like, how much are you earning a month? How much? Now imagine you getting $7,000 in your pocket every month. What will you do? Right? Now, this is, I don't even say that 7K a month, but what will you do? I just want to put you that picture out there. What will you do? Right? So again, and that's a student that's been in IT for 2.5 years. That's what I need you to understand. Do you know anybody in IT that's been working in IT for 2.5, almost 3 years, and is earning about $150,000 a year? Do you know anybody that can do that in 2.5, 3 years? You see, that's exactly what you knowing the right information can take you. So if I provide any type of information to you guys, that's because it fucking works. Like it really does, right? So obviously, one thing is for you to know exactly what you need to do, and the other one is this. I don't know if you probably can see it. Probably you do. And that really comes down to that. And that's, doing the fucking work. One thing again is for you to know what to do, but the next one is you doing the work. That's gonna allow you for you to make the change, for you to make the jump. So going back on the conversation on how to get a job, right, in IT. Jorge just finished a 120 master class. I'm trying to join the membership side. What is going on to open up? Again, I know there's so many people trying to join the membership side, and in the next few weeks that will be open. Again, I'm doing whatever it takes because I wanna take you through a journey. This membership side. It's not like what you see out there. Oh, I'm just gonna get into some technical videos. No, I'm gonna take you to a journey. And how can you completely change, transform your life, your IT career? And how can you get to a high-paying job really quick? And I cannot wait, again, for me to do some of the videos with some of my students so they can share their stories, so they can share what they've been gone through, okay? Some of them the last year or so, some others a few months with me. Because obviously, yes, I want to here to help you out. Now, before I share some other points and how can this really help you, let me share another thing too. And again, why am I sharing this? Because I really need you to pay attention to what I'm saying that you need to do, the things that you need to focus on, because it works. Like it really works. Okay. So I have a group. This is a group that I have, the NEA coaching program, right? So that's obviously students going through the process. So let me show you something, okay? Really quick, because you can probably be like, no, this is not happening. No, it is. So right there, that's one student, okay? So she was able to get, come on, come on. There we go, okay. So what happened there? A student, okay? She got her first job in IT about 7 months ago. First job in IT, okay? IT analyst, earning 55K, okay? And just, again, that was the first job in IT a few months back. Not years, few months. So now ready to go to the next level and end up getting a security position, okay? And end up getting 2 offers. And again, because of the things that she knew on how to do, she ended up going from, let's say, about 27.8, again, 55K salary to $38 per hour. And it just happened in a few months. And again, she got 2 offers. And he was obviously negotiating, okay? So again, there's some last. So let me see, proactive. I'm going through some of your questions, guys, okay? Because then you'll be like, oh, you're not answering the questions. I'm going through it, okay? So I'm gonna give you, yes, a scenario related to that interview. But one thing, why am I sharing this? Because I really need you to understand that if I give you something, that's because it works, not because I think it may work. Everything that I share with just anyone, that really works. So again, so how you go through the job interview process? How you go through the job interview process? How you end up getting like her 2 offers? She took not even 2 weeks. Now, this is something that I need you to think about, okay? 2 weeks. So she decided, I'm going to go to the market. 2 weeks later, not months, 2 weeks later, 2 offers. Now, let me tell you, how many jobs did she end up applying to or going on an interview? How many? 10, 20, 2. So she ended up going after 2 jobs and she ended up getting the 2 jobs. Now you're probably thinking, I don't believe you, Jorge. Proud, and I get it. that's totally fine. Again, there you can reach out to some of the students there to find out, obviously, that what I'm telling you, that like the whole truth. So she ended up going to after 2 jobs and ended up getting both. Why? Because it's a process. It's a process, and I'm gonna about to go through a process right now. But it's a process how you go through the job interview process, and it's very detailed. It's very detailed. So it's not like you have to do one or two things. Again, it's very detailed, the things that you have to do and the way that you do them. Because once again, one thing is you do know what to do, and the other, the way that you're gonna end up doing that. Okay. Now, before I give you a few points related to that, can anyone share with me if you are going through the job interview process right now? Can anyone share with me if you are going through the job interview process right now, or that you've been trying to get a job? Probably your first job in IT or a better one the last few weeks. Can anyone share that with me? That way, I can ask you a few questions and I can really help you in more detail on what you're probably doing wrong and what you need to do a lot better in a way that's gonna really help you for you to get the job. Because again, it really comes down to on how fast can you go to and get a high paying job in IT. And I don't want you for you to only focus obviously in IT certifications, or for you to think of it like, you know what? I'm just gonna go based on what everyone says. I'm just gonna get, let's say, my Cisco CCNA, and then I get it, and then I'm gonna go apply, and I'm gonna get a job, because that's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. There are a lot of people right now with their Cisco CCNA and a few other IT certifications, and they cannot get a job in IT. They just can't, right? And why? Again, many people don't know what's going on out there. Like the last few years, there have been a lot of people going in IT, like so many people. But based on because of what happened last year with the pandemic, there were a lot more people trying to get in IT. So what you see now in the market, it's a lot of competition. Now, this is one thing that you need to think about, and that's that most people end up doing the same things. The way that you probably approaching the process to get a job, that's exactly what everyone else is doing. And really think about it. It's not just you. It's not even 10, not even 20. There are probably more than 20, 50 people applying for the same job. So I always ask, so how can you differentiate yourself? That's the same question I keep telling people that are unable to get a job. Okay, how can you differentiate yourself from everyone else that are applying to the same job that you want? What would you say if I come up to you and I ask you that? Right? Like, how can you differentiate? Like, really, if you're gonna end up doing exactly what everyone else is doing? Because once again, answering technical questions, thinking that you answer them all correctly, you end up getting the job. No. Right? Now, where are you from? The one from NAC Engineer. Where are you from? What location are you from? You have your CCNA. Tell me more about how long you've been working on the NAC Engineer position, and tell me obviously a lot more about India. Okay. How long you've been working as a NAC engineer? And again, guys, if you have any questions, please let me know, because I really want to find more for at least 4 years. You see, that's another thing. I never advise for someone to be in a job more than 1 year. And I know it may sound bad, but that's a reality of it. It's a reality of it. I advise my students 6-9 months and move on. Why? Because you are the one that you need to upgrade yourself. You are the one that you need to be like, this is not based on the more that I'm going to stay here, the better, because I can get promoted. No, if that's your mentality, you're going to lose. Time have changed. And again, if the company don't need you, they don't care how many years you've been working in that company. They don't care that much about the things that you have done, the things that you have accomplished. If they don't have the budget, if they don't need you at that point, they're just going to let you go. They're not going to think of everything that you have done. And that's when many people have it like so messed up. Like, oh, I need to be with this company because I know I'm going to get promoted, or because they're going to give me those benefits, or because they're going to give me that promotion, or because they're going to no. You need to get promoted yourself by going to another company, and obviously based on the becoming valuable to the marketplace, based on what the market needs and wants. And then you move on to a job that's going to pay you a lot more, instead of kind of doing backwards like many people are doing it right now, based on old way of thinking. Oh, I need to be in this company for this many years. I'm gonna get promoted. I just like, no, that's not how it works. That's the reason why you see many people get stuck in their same career for years. And yes, they end up probably getting some more pay, but it's like probably 3, maybe 5, maybe 7,000 a year, and that promotion maybe 10, 15, when you can get more than 20, 25K, in just a few months. Okay. So again, if you have questions, let me know. So let me kind of go through the process. So write this down. I really hope you write this down, because I'm gonna take this video tomorrow, so I'm gonna delete it. Last week I have a really good YouTube live, and I said I'm gonna delete the video, and I deleted it. It was for 24 hours, and it was gone, because obviously this is information that I don't share that much, only inside my with the students. So again, please write things down. One thing that you have to do when you're going after a job, this can be your first job in IT, or that can be an upgrade for the next job. You need to see what the market needs and wants. That's exactly what you need to focus on. This is not for you to go on YouTube and for you to listen to people that have no idea and really what's going on in the market. This is not for you to go on YouTube and for you to listen to someone that only IT certifications or learning a lot of the technical topics out there that's going to get you the job, because that's not how it works. It's just not how it works. I'm serious. It's just not how it works. You have one guy teaching you one thing today, the next week is teaching you another thing, and the week after is teaching you another thing. Now you're all over the place. You have no plan on how to get from point A to point B. Now you are go based on advice and guidance that you get from a lot of people in the IT community and YouTube. Months, not weeks, months go by, and you are lost. You're probably frustrated, stressed out, that even though you are learning, you're putting the time into learning technical topics, getting IT certification, it's not getting you the job that you want. So how does this work? So I really hope you take this in consideration. So again, it can be going after your first job, or this can be going after an upgrade to your job. So I end up getting my Cisco CCNA. I'm at that point. I end up getting my Cisco CCNA, right? Or whatever certification you're working on. Now what I need to do is, okay, and let's say they have a NAC. I'm going to go based on this comment. I'm a NAC engineer, okay? So I'm a NAC engineer. I've been working on this company probably for a few years, but I decided it's time to move up. It's time for me to get a high-paying job in IT. Okay, so let me go after the next job, okay? Now, again, when you have, and it seems the NAC position, it's some of a mid-level position. Now you can go to an engineer position based on a network system cloud engineer position. So how can I do that? I'm not gonna go on YouTube. I'm not gonna reach out to people that don't have what I want. So I'm gonna look into the market, and what that means is this. I'm gonna go and like, okay, if that's a network engineer position that I want, let me look for those positions. I'm in Chicago, so I'm gonna go in Chicago, right? I'm gonna go on Dice, I'm gonna go on Indeed, and I'm gonna be network engineer, and I'm gonna basically open a lot of tabs, a lot of them. Okay, network engineer, network engineer, network engineer, network engineer, network engineer, and I'm gonna have so many on my computer, so many tabs open about those job titles. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take probably a day, 2, 3 days, going back and forth, not like me being there all the time, no, back and forth. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna study. Are you listening? I'm not gonna scan. I'm not just gonna read it. No, I'm gonna study each job. Okay, let me go through that responsibilities. Let me go to that, what they need. Let me see what they're looking for. Okay, let me go through it. Let me read it. Let me understand it. Let me kind of study it. Okay, now let me go to that second position. Let me go to that second one. And I'm gonna go and do the same thing. And now I'm gonna compare one to the next one. And I'm gonna be, okay, based on these two, it seems that they're looking for someone that knows how to do these things between both. Okay, now let me go on the third one, and I'm gonna go through it, study it, and then I'm gonna compare that one with number 1 and number 2. And I do that up to 10, 12, 15 jobs. And that's why it takes time, because now you're like, okay, if I have to combine all things that they want, I'm gonna probably come out with a list of 50 things, right? And I'm like, that's no way that I'm gonna know everything. Yeah, but because you're doing that, going through that process, you're gonna see a pattern. A pattern. What that means is you're gonna see like, okay, if I end up learning these few things, top 3, 4, I know that I can get a job as a network engineer. But you see, you're not doing that. And that's exactly my main focus. I go through my IT career, or I tell the students to go through their IT career based on what the market needs and wants at that moment of time. That's the reason why some of my students go after their virtualization. Some others go after cloud, AWS. Some others, cloud, Azure. Some others, they go for Palo Alto when they get their Cisco CCNA. So again, how is that? That I have a few students that end up getting their Cisco CCNA. All of them are at that point. But how is it? One is going after VMware virtualization. But then I have another one going after cloud, Azure. The other one, yes, cloud, AWS. And another one probably with Palo Alto. Why? Why I don't tell them, oh, you got your CCNA? Oh, you need to get your CCNP. Oh, no, you need to get, your AWS certification. Practitioner, start with that. Oh, no. Or get your virtualization, VMware. Like, no, I don't do that. Why? Because, again, I need to know more about you and exactly what's going to work for you based on where you are in your personal life. And obviously, on your location, where you are and what you're trying to get to. What's the position that you want to go after? So that's how we reverse engineer the process, and what are the skills that you need to focus on a few weeks for you to start going through on that process. Be able to create some labs, be able to create some stories. And then when you feel like you're ready, now you go to the market. Now, when you go to the market, obviously it comes down to on how you have your resume. And everyone that send out the resume to me, everyone, they have it all wrong. That's the truth. You can send me your resume and I know I'm going to find so many things. A lot of them completely wrong. Why? Because it goes based on, oh, let me go on Google and let me look for those resumes about network engineer or cloud engineer. Let me get an idea. Or let me get on YouTube for people that advise. And a lot of it is BS. A lot of it is BS. They focus on the font. They focus, oh, you need to put this a few things. You need to put all the skills that you have. No one wants to go through that. No one. You have to build a resume based on stories. Now you're probably thinking, what does that mean? You see, that's my point. If you don't get that, those bullet points that you're going to end up putting on your resume has to be based on bullet points, not based experience working with STP, BGP, OSPF, VLAN, and all this BS. You basically go on and on and on, and people may when they look at it, they're gonna be, oh yes, another BS next, right? Because it's not tailored to the job that you're applying to based on this, and with stories related to what they need and want. You see, that's the other thing. I don't know if you're doing this or not, but when you apply to a job, it takes about, between how good you at it, about 30 to 45 minutes to create or to edit that resume that you are submitting to that specific job. And I noticed there's a lot of people that one resume, you know what? I'm going to make this very effective. I'm going to have this resume really good because I went through a lot of YouTube videos. I went through a lot of links on Google without you thinking that everyone else is doing the same thing. Everyone else is looking at the same links. Everyone else is looking at the same YouTube videos. Everyone else is basically doing the same thing. So the way that you have your resume, that's the way that most people have their resume. You're not unique. I can type tips on how to create a resume, or how a network engineer resume looks like. Everyone does that. So you're going to end up getting the same thing. You're going to end up doing the same, again, thing that everyone else is doing. So again, you don't do that, right? But again, you do that. And what you do, I'm going to go on Dice right now. I'm going to go on Indeed, and I'm going to just send my resume to every job that I think I'm qualified for. And I'm going to apply to 10, 15 jobs every day. And watch, by the end of the week, I already applied to 15 jobs. And obviously, right, based on the ad number, out of the 50, they have to call me some of them. And out of those, some of them, I'm going to get a job, right? That's how it works. That's how many people think through the process. And I'm like, oh my God, you don't do that. You don't do that. You do not do that. Right? Again, how can you position yourself and be able to stand out from everyone else? That way you end up getting the job that you want. That way you end up getting the income that you want. A lot of people are going through so much right now financially. And I'm like, why are you going through that financially when you work in IT? I mean, what job do you have? How much are you earning? And when they say, well, I work on the help desk, I work as a NAC tech, why work as a network admin, why work on like jobs they pay about 40, 50, 60, 70, 80K. And I'm like, okay, now the question is, how long you been working in IT? Oh, I've been working in IT for 3 years, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. So you're telling me that you've been working in IT for 4, 5, 6, 7 years, and you're still earning 60, 70, $80,000? Like, are you kidding me? Like, who told you that? Who sold you on that plan? Who sold you on that plan? Like, none of my students have that freaking mentality. They know that you get to 120K in less than 3 years. 2, if you do things right. Students have done it in 2. Students are new, no background in IT, no bachelor's, none of it. And they get to 100, 120K in less than 2 years. So again, who are you listening to, right? Because once again, with me, I tell you how it is. Money matters. And if you're not earning 120K, you don't have a good job in IT. I'm sorry, but you don't. If someone told you, hey man, you're earning $90,000, that's good, man. No, it's not good. That's not gonna pay you those bills. You're just gonna live paycheck to paycheck. It's just how it is. And the other thing too, there's so many opportunities in IT, like so many opportunities. Many people don't take advantage of those opportunities. Opportunities for you to do consulting, opportunities for you to do some teaching, opportunities for you to create your own business consulting, for you to, like, it's just so many like out there for you to have 2 jobs working from home. You probably cannot get that on a help desk. You can probably not get that on a network admin. But when you go to an engineer above, two of them, they have 2 jobs working from home. Imagine having 2 jobs in IT working from home. And those 2 jobs are paying you between $80,000 to $100,000. Just imagine that. Like one of them, 245K. 2 jobs working from home, 245K. You can probably not comprehend the number, because probably no one told you that can be possible for you. And I can tell you it can be possible for you. You just have to be open mind, and you have to let go of all the BS that you borrow from a lot of people in the IT community, like I did for many years. You know, I remember going back when I was going through my IT career, I ended up doing a lot of the things that you probably are doing, until kind of hit me. Not because I'm smart, right? Because it got to a point that someone told me, Jorge, if you don't have the income, that life that you want, that's because that's obviously something that you don't know. And it seems that if you want to know the information that's going to take you there, you end up asking the wrong people. You don't ask the people that already have what you want. You need to reach out to them, because they already figured that out. But it seems that you keep asking the same people that are at the same boat as you, same level. So how can you get to 120K when you keep asking people in the IT community that are earning $60,000, $70,000, $80,000? Same thing I'm going to tell you that I said last week. Same thing. You come up with someone, right? And like, how long you been working in IT? About 8 years. That's good. How much are you earning? 120K. Yeah, that's my guy. He's earning $120,000, Jorge, and he's been working in IT for 8 years. I'm like, no, that's not your guy. So you're telling me that you want to wait 8 years of your life to get to 120K? That's what you're telling me right now? Well, exactly. That's my point. There are many people right now, they're able to break the 120K in less than 2 years. Some of them, obviously, with my students. And there are many more out there that obviously don't know. But why not reach out to them and be like, how the hell did you get to 120K in 2 years? Again, me, when I got to 120K, me going through my IT career, it took me about 9-10 years for me to get there. Why? Because through so many years, I ended up doing things that I was not supposed to, because I didn't know any better. So how is that? The result that I have now in my career, many of my students have accomplishing that in 2.5, 3 years. How does that happen? Because obviously they end up not going through their IT career the way I did at first, when I didn't know any better. Now they know exactly what they need to do. And once again, money matters a lot. Now, there is a reason why the first part of your training program involves changing a person's mindset. Yes, Johnny, probably you end up going through the 120K blueprint. Yes, because you can go on and getting a lot of IT certifications. That's not going to get you a high-paying job in IT. And I can prove it to you because why? Just the scenario that happened today, right? So this student reached out. Jorge, they offered me $34 an hour. And I'm glad, I'm happy they offered me that job that I wanted related to security. A security analyst position. Now I'm on my way to be a cybersecurity engineer. The next job will be an engineer position, and they're offering me like almost $10 more, not 3, not 4, not 5, almost $10 more. And I'm like, that's great, but you can do a lot better. Why you want to settle with $34 an hour? And by the way, you have another offer coming up. So this is the way that you need to play it out. This is exactly what you need to tell them. And I can guarantee you, if you do this, they're going to give you the job. They will give you the job now for $34, $38 per hour. That happened today. And it happened. It just happened. So here, really quick. Let me go back. Let me show you here. I'm going back. Almost. Let's see here. Just hang out. I'm going through the text. I called you available. No, not this, not this. So let's see. Let me know. London orders. There. Right there. That's the text that she sent me back. Come on. You have to. There. So she's gonna start on Monday. $38. From $34 to $38. Just mind shift, right? If I don't say anything, she will be okay. You know what? $34, that's good. Let's go. It's good. But just because mindset, the standards that you have for yourself, right? And if you know how to play the game, she went on from $34 to $38. So again, they're already giving an offer that she already accepted. I'm going to take this job, even though I'm still waiting for the next job. But, right? Knowing how to play the game. She went back, I don't need your job. Thank you, I have another offer that's going to pay me a lot more. The only way that I can go with you guys, $38 an hour. Take it or leave it. Boom, $38, done. So really, just a conversation, right? Just a conversation that I had with this student. Just a conversation. She's now going to earn about $400 more a month. What would you do with $400 more a month on top of your check? Because that's just what that's exactly what just happened on that conversation. Right? Again, I'm going through some of your comments, guys. So I go back to the same thing, right? Like, it matters a lot who you listen to and how you go through your IT career. Now you're saying, oh, Jorge, so I need to listen to you. It's not that. With me, it's basically giving you the options. And I give you how it is. I tell you how it is. Okay? Now, here's the thing. Okay? Here's the thing that many people don't understand. You need to see that big picture, because if not, what's going to happen? You're going to end up making the wrong choice. And I really need you for you to listen to this. Because if you don't, you're going to keep making a lot of mistakes. Okay? You need to look at the big picture. And you cannot do that if you know what's the final destination. You need to know what's the final destination that you want to get to in your IT career, right? For instance, her, right? She wants to become a cybersecurity engineer, right? And one of the offers is about 68, 70K. The other offer, full-time position, benefits and everything else. And she's like, Jorge, I'm going to take that. And I'm like, okay, why do you want to take that? Because Jorge, come on. I'm going to get about 68, 70K. And then 6 months, they're gonna give me a 5% increase on my income in 6 months. And it can be the potential for me to move to an engineer role. Okay, so you're basically telling me that this other company is offering you about 68, 70K right now, and 5% in the next 6 months, right? Increase on your salary. And it's all benefits. You have the healthcare, PTO based on the days off, they're gonna pay you, like all this, all of that. That's great. That's really great. But it's a full-time job. You're gonna have to start with them for 1 year. If not, it's gonna look bad on your resume based on this previous one. And I don't think you wanna wait for you to get to 100K. Why not take that contract position that you have not much of a benefit, but do you believe in yourself? Do you trust me in this process? Because I can get you to 100K in 6 months. So take this job, be there 6, 7, 8 months, and then go and get the 100K job. You don't have to wait for someone to promote you. You don't have to wait for some fucking raise they're gonna give you. No, you promote yourself. You do the right things. You can go on this job for the next 6, 7, 8 months. And again, 9 months, and you have your 100K job. So yeah, probably right now it looks good, the full-time job. But that's not what you want. What you need is the other job that's gonna be, this is for me to get in and for me to jump to an engineer level position that's gonna pay me the 100K in the next 6, 7, 8 months. And she ended up doing that. She ended up doing that. Right? So again, I go back to the same conversation. You need to know how to have a plan. There's so many things I wish I can go through it, but it will take me the entire night for me to go through all of it. Because there's so many things that you can do throughout the job interview process for you to get the job. One thing that I'm going to advise is getting IT certifications is not the answer. Having 1 or 2, that's great. But don't go after the next. Stop listening to these people on YouTube. They're giving you so much content, technical content. They just putting you a lot of information that you may not need. Irrelevant content. Oh, you need to learn about Kubernetes. Oh, you need to learn about Docker. You need to learn about Python. You need to learn about virtualization. You need to learn about Linux. You need to learn about hacking. You need to learn about all these things. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, are you serious with me? Like, you're giving so much content to these people. They have no idea how to go through their IT career. You basically keep them stuck. You don't need all of that. Again, depending on the job that you're going to go after, you may need some of it, but not all of it. So now you're like, man, this is too much. I need to learn this, and I was learning that, and then now this guy telling me that I need to learn this too. Imagine me, every Monday, right? I'm going to teach you something new. This week, I'm going to teach you about the routing protocol, OSPF. I'm going to go through some labs, some scenarios. I'm going to teach you all of it. That's what you need if you want to become a network engineer, okay? The next week, I'm going to teach about MPLS. I'm going to go through some scenarios. I'm going to go through some labs. I'm going to give you so much content. And that's what you need for you to become a high-paid network engineer. That week after, I'm going to teach about Python. That week after that, I'm going to teach about Kubernetes. And that week, imagine doing that. You're going to be like, Jorge, like, stop. Like, I've been learning, what you've been teaching, the OSPF. I end up doing a few things on my own. It's been 4 months that I've been following you, and you keep giving me more content, but you still have no job. It's not consistent. So that's my point. Again, that's my point. Stressing about finding my first IT job. How will you get your first IT job? Whoa, Jorge, I don't have any experience. I don't know what to do. Oh my God, what's going to happen? Oh my God. Because you don't know how to do it. And people may say, oh, you need to go and volunteer yourself. You need to go and volunteer yourself for a few months so you can get some hands-on, so you can shadow a few people what you do. And who's going to pay you those 3 months? Who's going to pay you those 3 months? Right? Oh, you need to volunteer. No, you don't volunteer for nothing. You don't do that. That's for losers. Yes, I said it. Right? Easy for me to say, oh, Jorge, how can I get experience if I don't have any experience? Oh, go on your church. Go on some of those small businesses and say that you have a few hours that you can provide to them for a few weeks, get some hands-on, get some experience. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Who's going to pay the bills? Who's going to pay your car payment? Who's going to pay the insurance? Who's going to provide? You probably have a family. Who's gonna, Like, oh my God, the things that people said, I'm serious. Or you know what? Get an entry-level job. Help desk. They take anyone. You have the A plus, you can take they can take anyone. We're gonna start paying you like $15-17 per hour. Might as well go back and work at McDonald's or at Walmart, right? Like, really, like, people give that type of advice. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because it's so true. It's so true. People are keeping you broke. I'm sorry, but sometimes I listen to a few people on YouTube or people on forums. Oh, you need to do this if you want to get your first job. Oh, you need to do, and I'm like, oh my God, like, are you serious with me? Like, no, imagine, right? You have a job and not related to IT, and you're probably getting paid like $20 an hour, right? Again, nothing to do with IT, but you know that job is not gonna take you nowhere, and you decided it's time for me to do something better. And you love technology, you decided to do IT, and you jump into it, right? And then you go to the IT community, you go on YouTube, how can I start my IT career? Oh, you need to get your Campatilla A+, you need to get, probably your CCNA too, and you need to start with an entry-level job. And now you notice that, man, it's really hard. And if I end up getting this job, an entry-level job, like everyone tells me, they're gonna pay me $17-20 per hour. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like, it doesn't make any sense. I'm trying to move up, and I don't have time to waste because I have a family to take care of, And again, it's just amazing. It's just amazing. It's just freaking amazing what people say. I'm telling you, it's just amazing what people give you some advice on. Like, that's no. Like, again, you being new in IT, right? You end up getting your CCNA. If you got your Campatilla certifications, too bad. They're not gonna help you, and you better not put them on that resume. Why? Because when people put their Campatilla A+, Network Plus, and they go after a job, you're basically saying, "Do not hire me because I'm a new person. I'm a new person in IT. Don't hire me. I'm new. Please don't hire me. Okay? I'm applying just because people tell me to, but don't hire me." That's basically what happens when you put your Campatilla certifications. Now, when you put like 5 IT certifications on that resume, and you're kind of new in IT, you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, we have another person right here. Like, we have another one, the one that memorized all the questions." He ended up memorizing the questions for the A+, the Network Plus, the Security Plus, the Linux Plus, this plus, the CCNA. We have a winner. That guy has 7 IT certifications and looking for his first job in IT. Unbelievable. And that's not your fault, obviously. Not your fault. Well, yes, it is. I'm sorry. Yes, it is. Because you listen to people that you're not supposed to. That's your fault. You need to, again, step back and be like, okay, again, many people, okay, when they did people earn money through YouTube. So they're going to come up with anything just to keep your attention going. Not really care about where you're going in your life. Not really care where you're going in your IT career. Really, that's how it is. That's how it is. And this is the time for you to not be the monkey. I'm sorry, but you probably been the monkey. I was the monkey for so many years. What does that mean? A lot of people know. Obviously, my students in the coaching program know exactly what I'm talking about. And I have shared this before. Who is the monkey? The monkey is basically monkey see, monkey do, and then monkey teach other people to do the same thing. And none of those 3 monkeys question it. Is this the right thing to do? Everyone is going that way. Me, the monkey, I see everyone is going that way. And me, the monkey, I'm like, okay, let me go that way. I don't ask why. I just see everyone going that way. So let me go. And then I tell everyone, hey, let's go over there. Yes, let's go over there. Let's go over there. Now you're telling other people to go that way. You never question it if that was the right thing to do. And now you're going that way. And on top of that, you're telling other people to go that direction as well. That's how I was going through my life. That was how I was going through my life. That's the reason why, it's time. Like, okay, let me take a look at the market. Like, really, let me look at it, okay? Let me look for successful people and people that are not successful. Obviously, we all know this. This is not freaking science. You're going to find a lot of people in IT that are not successful. A lot of them, most of them, right? And then you're going to have those few people that are successful. Okay, let me see the difference. What these guys are doing, what these guys are doing. Let me start reaching out to people and see the way they think here and the way they think over here. And you're going to notice right away, like, now I see why that person is earning 150K. Compared to this person that's been working in IT for many more years compared to that person, but earning about $60,000. And again, I know a lot of you jump in really quick, a lot of more jump in right now. And it's just, let me share that one more time with you guys because Jesus, man. Uh, I shared this at the beginning. So I'm going to share this because I see more people connected. But I keep going back to the same thing. I keep going back to the same thing. Okay. Right there. I really need you to see yourself, guys. And by the way, look for that guy. Look for him. Reach out to him. It's Jeremy Blank. Okay. He sent me this last week. Right there. $7,000. What would you do with $7,000? What would you do with $7,000 in your pocket? Because it says right there, he got paid $8,000, 8,000 with $300, 8,000 with $300. But pay, right? Taking home and paycheck, right? Home, $7,000. What would you do with that money? What would you do with that money? And that can happen to you. That can happen to you. That can happen. The same thing that happened to the student this morning. 2 offers, easy to negotiate, right? No, is that dude working from home 2 jobs? No, that's just one job, one full-time job. He's a senior network architect. Now you're probably saying, oh my God, that's the reason why he earns a lot of money. He's a senior network architect, obviously. Okay, but you didn't get this. He's been working in IT less than 3 years, period. He's been working in IT less than 3 years, less than 3 years. No bachelor's degree. He doesn't have any Campatía BS, none of them, because obviously he got in with me. And I'm like, no, you don't do Campatía BS. You don't do that. That's for losers. The people don't know, but I don't know if you can see, I have one right there. That's one Campatía certification. And there's another one, and underneath I have another one. I have 3 Campatía certifications. I have my A+, Network Plus, and Security Plus. Now, if I'm able to talk to my youngest version of myself, right? I go back, I'm like, look, Jorge, you're about to go through your IT career. A lot of people are going to say you need the Campatía certifications. And I'm going to tell you right now, don't fucking do it, man. Let me lay out this plan to you, because what we accomplished, in 9-10 years, I'm coming back to tell you that we can do it in the next 3 years, man. We can do a high-paying job that's going to pay you about $130K. That's how much I'm earning right now, because I still have a full-time job. And on top of that, you can start teaching other people on how can they do the same. They can accelerate the process to make this happen. Let's do that. 3 years, let's do that. We can get there. But no Campatía certifications. No Campatía certifications. Like, stop. Like, don't do that. That's going to keep you broke, right? Like, the other day, I had a conversation with this guy. And he told me, Jorge, I don't know what to do. I've been watching some of your videos, but I've been watching some other videos as well. And I'm confused. A lot of people say Campatía. You said no. And you're kind of the only one of those few people that said no Campatía, right? But I seen a lot more saying, yeah, Campatía. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, okay, you sound like you're not young. I mean, are you in your 40s, 50s? Oh, yes, I'm in late 40s. Okay. Obviously, you have a family, right? Yes. So that means you have to pay bills every month, right? Okay. And you think if you earn $20, $17, $20 an hour, will God get you paid? Oh, no, man. Obviously not. I'm earning right now $70K. Oh, okay. So you're earning $70K right now, but you're looking for something better, right? Yes. So that's no option for you to go backwards, right? Well, no, that's the reason why I'm reaching out to you. I'm like, well, let me tell you something. This is how you need to do it. And I'm going to be honest with you. You get your first job in IT, that's going to pay you about 65 to 70K. So yes, you may not get more than 70K, but that's fine. Why? Because you'll be on that job for 6 months. That's it, 6 months. And then you can go for the job that's going to pay you 95, 100K. And then you can move upper, like many students have done it. And that's the same thing that I want all of you to think about. There are ways, guys. And right now, the economy is not that great. The economy is not that great. And I don't think it's going to get any better in the next 6 months, in the next year. And you need to be prepared based on what the market wants, needs, not based on what some YouTubers are telling you to do. It's time for you to disconnect, go to the market and be, okay, if I want to get that job, let me see what that job is asking right now. What are the skills that I need to go through, focus on, not for me to be all over the place. Because once again, right, I keep saying this to my students, it's not about you being busy, it's about being productive. So you can be busy a lot of time, most of the time, but that's not gonna get you paid. Period. That's not what's gonna get you paid. You have to be very productive and only doing and focus on the things that will get you there. Do you know what's gonna get you there? Well, exactly. That's my point. You know, some of my students, they end up getting their first job in IT and they don't know no Kubernetes, they don't know no Docker, they don't know no Python, they don't know none of that because they don't need it right now. They don't need it right now. You need to focus on what's going to get you from point A to point B. Period. Point A to point B. Maybe those other skills, you may need them later on. And maybe some of them, not all of them. Again, I don't care where you are in your IT career, but it shouldn't take you more than 2 years to earn $120,000. It shouldn't. It shouldn't, again, take you more than 2 years to earn 120. And that's if you're new. That's if you are new. Now, if you already have a job in IT, an entry-level job, or maybe like some type of an admin position, you can get there in 1 year. 1 year and a job that's going to pay you 120K. Because again, this other thing that I need you to think about. Most people go through life, their IT career, in autopilot. I did it for so many years. I didn't know any better. So many of you probably going through your IT career, personal life in autopilot. Just gonna go through it. Whatever happens, happens. You don't know much what's going on. You probably many times you do things that you know you're not supposed to do, and you're still doing them. So what's going on with that, right? So what does that mean? That yes, people want to get in IT. Once they get their first job, not all of them, but many of them, the majority of them, stay there. They get stuck. They get okay. Oh, I was earning $15 an hour. Now I got my first job in IT, and now I'm earning 22. I'm a winner. I'm earning now more. And then 3 years later, you're still on the same job. What does that mean? That the higher you go in your IT career, less competition. A lot easier for you to get to a senior level than an entry-level job. And I hope you're hearing me. It's a lot easier to get to a senior level position than getting your first job in IT. A lot easier going through that process because it's overcrowded. IT is overcrowded. I'm telling you, IT overcrowded. Okay. Now, if you have any questions, please let me know. Now, I have a guy. I don't know if he's still here. If you are, let me know so I can go through some questions that you were asking. So someone reached out to me. His name is Johan Lopez. So obviously, if you are here, let me know. That way I can answer the questions. He's in high school and he reached out to me saying, you know, Jorge, can you answer these questions? And they're really good questions, like really good questions. Okay. About IT. You know, you see, he reached out to me through Instagram. So if you have any questions, reach out to me on Instagram. Like really, if you ask me something good, I take my time and I get back to you. And because this guy is a high school a student, that's the reason why I'm taking the time. So if you're here, let me know, man. If not, I'm not going to answer your questions because he has a few questions. Question number 1, how do you manage your time? Question number 2, what's the best thing about your job? Question number 3, what advice do you have for someone new in the industry? Who inspires you? What hard skills someone needs to know for that field? What's the best job decision you ever made? What's the worst decision you ever made? What are the long-term goals? What are the I mean, they're really good questions. So I don't know if he's here, but I'm gonna give it a minute or so. Okay. Now the other thing is, obviously, right? If you are ready, I have 2 spots. That's it. That's only have 2 spots. I usually take 3 students every month, so I have 2. Now, Blue Sky, most jobs require some certificates, but you say we do not need them to get those jobs. I didn't say that. I did not say that, Blue Sky. I said IT certifications help a lot because when you have them, people reach out to you. The problem is that most people don't do it the right way. They end up learning the topics the wrong way. Number 2, they don't go through it the way they're supposed to based on studying the topics deep. And what happens? They end up memorizing the questions. There's a ton of sites, right? That you pay 20, 40, 50, $100 and you get the questions from the exam. Imagine me, like if I wanted to do that, I can have all the Cisco certifications this year. Why? Because I can get the questions of every exam. And every week, no more than 2 weeks, I'm going to take one exam. Another week or two, another exam. And I'm going to look like a badass. In social media, I'm going to look like a badass. Like, oh my God, this guy, he's freaking Superman, man. Like, I noticed his Instagram or timeline, and he's got probably 6, 7 exams the last 3 months. He's a fucking genius. No, I'm a fucking cheater. Why? Because I end up memorizing all the questions. And many people do that. That's the reason why you have so many people that have their CCNA, their CCNP, and they still have an entry-level job or an admin position. And I'm like, oh my God, you have your CCNP, you have an admin level position. I mean, come on, man. Like, really? Like, something is wrong here. Like, something is wrong here. I end up earning, I had my previous job was a senior system engineer. That was my previous job. And it was, it got per hour, and then it went to a salary. But I hit the 120K. No CCNP. I have it. I got it last year. I got my CCNP last year. But at that point in my career, I didn't have it. I didn't. And I got my senior system engineer position. You see, certifications help, but only to get the right ones. The ones that you know will make a difference based on knowing that's exactly what the market needs and wants at that moment of time. Not based on the more certifications I get, the better. Not good. Just not good. But yes, I remember it's my some of the students they end up joining my program be like, Jorge, I have my CCNA, man, so can you just teach me how to get a job? I'm like, you got your CCNA? Good. So how is that you don't have a job? Well, that's exactly why I'm reaching out to you, Jorge, because I'm having some issues there. Okay, well, let me ask you a few questions. Is that okay with you? And that will be easy questions, I promise. Easy questions. Okay. Can you tell me what's DHCP? Oh, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. Provides IP addresses and other TCP settings. A process called DORA, discover, offer, request, acknowledge, port 67. Yeah. And he thinks he answered that question. And I'm like, oh my God, that's the reason why you're not getting the job, man. Because you just said what everyone else is saying. You see, I'm going back on how you're answering the questions. Okay, let me ask you another question. What's the difference between, the same question I asked before, an IP address compared to a MAC address? What's the difference? Oh, yeah. IP addresses work on the layer 3 of the OSI model. That's a network layer. We have IP version 4, IP version 6, IP version 4, 32-bit decimal number divided by 4 octets. We have class A, B, C. Class A, big networks, class C, small networks. We have public, private IP addresses. Now, compared to MAC address, it's not logical like IP. It's physical because it's burning into the device. Work on the data layer 2. That's a data link layer, that can be related to frames. Again, MAC address is 48 hexadecimal number, blah, blah, blah. Like, really, man? Like, come on. And he feels good, right? Like, oh, man, this guy knows. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. That's the reason why you're not getting the job. So if you want to go through my coaching program, I don't care if you have the CCNA or you don't, because it seems that you don't. Because no one is going to hire you because you have the knowledge. Someone is going to hire you if they only can see that you can get the job done. If they only can see that you can get, they see you already working with them in their projects, in their issues. And you cannot do that and accomplish that by answering the questions that way. So yeah. Once again, guys, if you really, for someone that it's serious, I can help you. I can get you, well, not me, because you end up doing the work. I just guide you through the process and coach you all the way through for you to get the job. But again, if you're ready to get your first job in IT, if you're ready to. Raymond, I think you've been asking a lot of questions the last few weeks, man. Um, so again, one student took two. It took 2 weeks and applied to 2 jobs, and she ended up getting the 2 offers. Okay, and again, reach out to her. I'm serious. Like, reach out to her. Come on, you can see that. Come on. Almost there. Almost there. Come on. Almost. Oh, come on. There. Boom. She ended up getting 2 offers. 2 offers. 2 jobs, 2 offers in 2 weeks. When you know what to do, it works. About 14 years, Alex. 14 years. 7, 8 of them, I was blind. I was going through my IT career like most people do. I didn't know any better, unfortunately. You know? So, yeah. Imagine you can save time, right? And getting things done. Just imagine that. Like, really, just imagine that. Being able to cut half the time, things that you need to do, and only focus on what matters. Only focus on what matters. And there's a thing that I want to make sure that you get, guys, that people are already doing this. This is not new. Obviously, most people don't. But you have to be open-minded. You know, you really have to be open-minded. Now, once again, guys, I know you keep asking me about the membership side. And it's going to be open in the next few weeks. The only thing that I have open right now is that coaching program. That's the only thing that I have open this month, that coaching program. And that's basically you work directly with me. You and I just work like this. You know, you ask, we go through a series of one-on-ones because obviously I need to get to know you. I need to know where you are right now. And it's funny because a lot of people thank me, not because their job, because their life is changed. Because you go through a process with me, and who's the next you? Because who you are right now, you will not get to the life you want of who you are right now. Like me, I have different stages that I want to go through in the next 5, 7, 10 years. And every stage or in the process, it's a new me. You have to always work more on yourself than anything else. You know, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Most people, what they do, they work hard on their job and that's it. They don't do nothing else. You know, they go back, they go on Netflix, they go back and hang out with loser friends. They go back and they probably start playing some fucking video games when they're in their fucking 20s and 30s. They're fucking losers. Sorry if you're here. Someone has to tell you the truth, you know? Someone has to tell you the truth. You know, if you hang out with, again, just loser friends, you know, playing PlayStation and your late 20s, 30s, you are a loser. I'm sorry, you are. And you're putting yourself first and your family or people that take care of you. That's your parents, you know? So, yeah. No, Johnny Anderson. No, you get the CCNA with me. Johnny, you get the CCNA. I teach the CCNA. I teach the CCNA through stories. You know, I teach the CCNA through stories. You know, you ask one of my students, you know, what's the difference? Going back on the same question. What's the difference between a MAC address and an IP address? And I know all of you probably already hear me and what most people will say. Or what would you say, right? What's the difference between an IP address and a MAC address? Right? Oh, IP address, blah, 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 blah. MAC address, blah, 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 blah. Again, you just give me a technical lecture. That's what most people will do. Compare, and you do this by a lot of things, right? But obviously, I teach you the topics through a story. That's exactly the difference between me and everyone else. I teach you based on a story. So this is how it will go, okay? And based on that question. Easy question, right? So let's say that you're the manager or that you are the engineer. And you ask, you know, Jorge, we need someone obviously that knows networking. So let me ask you a few questions just to see how much you know. Okay. Well, can you tell me what's the difference between an IP address compared to a MAC address? Of course. Well, look, David, let's just imagine this, that we have about 20 computers right here in front of us, 20 of them, and they need to communicate to one another. And we both know that they're going to need an IP address and a MAC address. But the good thing is we don't have to worry about the MAC addresses because we both know they're already built in and those devices. And by the way, they work on the layer 2 of the OSI model, that data link layer, hexadecimal number, 48 hexadecimal number, and all that. But now let's focus on the IP address, right? These computers need that to communicate. And it can be two ways. And we both know that, right? Statically or dynamically. And 20 computers, we can get this done in the next hour. We can set up the IP, the other TCP settings, and we're good to go. But right here in this building, probably you have more than 100, probably 5, probably 1,000 computers. Imagine you and I go to each one of them, that will be a nightmare. That's the reason why we're gonna need a protocol, DHCP, and probably you have set up that with Windows Server 2016 or probably 2019, or you probably have some type of appliance, many companies do now, like Infoblox, right? So that's exactly what's gonna provide an IP address to these end devices. And not just the IP address, just some of the mask, because obviously the computers and devices, they need to know what network they belong to. And the default gateway, we need that exit and how we can communicate from one network to another network. And let's not forget DNS, because we obviously need, a protocol that's going to be able to fully to translate a fully qualified domain to IP addresses. And by the way, like the other day, I had this issue, that was related to an IP address. The user was like, not, because I was unable to connect to the map tribe. And basically what happened was, and then I want to tell the story. You see how powerful that is? How many things I said? Now you probably think of me like, wow, this guy knows what's going on compared, oh, this guy just knows. That takes that to another level. And I did so many things by me answering that question, and it will take me another probably half an hour to break that down and exactly how that is. Now, Sika, Cachara, no sé, whatever. If you're here to just say a scam, what I'm going to ask you is for you to get the fuck out of here. It's just that simple, okay? You can go back where you came from and you can get the fuck out of here. Because people like you, that's exactly what keep other people stuck. That mindset, just because what you said is just, it's dumb. And I wish I can have you one-on-one in front of me. Well, I don't want to say more things. So let's focus on the good things, okay? You see, I don't like when people say, like, no. And there's so many people, again, they're in your life that way. Because their life sucks so much, right? They're in their basement. They still live with their mom. They're in the basement. They don't know anything else what to do. And they invade their life so bad. They really wish that they were you. That's where the haters come from. They see other people, man, I wish I was, and I don't like, it's just so bad. And I really don't like when people, again, that advice, and I always tell people, me, it's all about, I'm always open. If you have better results than me, I'm open. I will not go against it, because if you have better results than me, that means that 1, 2, 3 things that I don't know. And I want to find out. I want to get your point of view, your insight, because that's exactly what got me here. That's exactly what they got me to the income that I have right now, combine my full-time job, because once again, I have a full-time job and what I do with Network Engineer Academy, right? So again, for those of you that are really want to go after not only the CCNA, but the job, again, go through the details. And if you're ready, apply. The other thing too, that I said so many times, it matters how you study. It matters how you study. So for those of you studying the CCNA, again, stop doing that if you have no idea how the mind learns information, how the mind processes information. Because if you end up learning any technical topic of the CCNA, what's going to happen? You're going to end up doing what? What everyone else does. Answering a question like a technical lecture. You see? And that's not good. That's not good. Okay? So I really have to go, guys, because I'm late for my call and 2 calls that I have today. So I'm late for that. Any questions? Take a minute. What's the difference between the membership side and the coaching program? The membership side, you go through a journey. You don't get access to everything right away. You have to go through a journey. Because once again, you cannot get to the next level in your life, your IT career, by being you. And it will be so dumb, so stupid of my part to give you access to technical content when you have no idea what's going on in your life. You have no idea what got you there. You have no idea and what can be possible for you because you still seeing the world through the same eyes, the same views. So you go through a journey on the membership side, and you do not get me. We do group calls with all the people in the membership, but you will not get me on a one-on-one. The coaching, it's so personal. Basically, you can get results in the membership side easy, but with me, we accelerate and making those results happen. That's just the difference. That's it. Okay. So again, other questions, guys. I only have like 2 minutes. I really late on one of my calls that I have with one of my students. You know. So I'm telling you guys, I really cannot wait on me helping you guys to reach out the next level in your life, your IT career. Question: how long should I plan to study for? Currently, I'm doing 3-5 hours of a day. I'm aiming for 6 months. I don't know what Bryce. I don't know exactly what that means. It seems that you study 3-5 hours a day. That's fine, but I didn't get that. I'm aiming for about 4 to 6 months. 4 to 6 months for what? To get your CCNA, to get a job, to get a better job. Like for what? You know, that's the thing. Also with me, that when you go through this process, what happens is that you end up letting a lot of the habits go. You let go of some of the habits that are holding you back, and you adapt those new habits that allow you to succeed. They allow you to become the next version of yourself. Because really, what's the point, guys? And you getting a job in IT and you're still not happy with your life, not happy in how things are going on for you. Why not completely and totally change everything? Why not go through a process where you can totally and completely change who you are and become that person that you need to be in order for you to have the happier life, the happier relationship, and everything else, you know? And that's how this process goes with me. I focus on the big picture, not only focus on get you the CCNA or the job, because that's not. And I get that from my mentor, like Jorge. There can be so many people that can probably have the income that you want, but you need to look at the big picture. If you want to take advice, it may take time for you to find the right person or the right people, but only look for those that have the income, the life, and results that you want. They have to have the whole package. Imagine me being a badass, right? And then I'm here miserable, like no, it has to have the whole package. You know, when was the last time that you took care of yourself? Your body, right? Because this is a machine, right? What you have, this, what you basically are able to perform. When was the last time that you really take care of yourself? You know, because you need to take care of this first so you can execute on doing the things that you need to do. You probably never. And again, that's kind of my question. Okay. So again, it's just different ways on how to look at it. So Biskat Patel, he's saying, you know, poor work for money. The rich have money to work for themselves. That's true, but you see, that's easy for this is when there's people so ignorant. Why? How can you tell someone, you know, that invest when they don't have the money? No, you teach someone to earn money first, good money. And now when you're earning good money, now you invest it. You're doing it backwards. You think you're smart, but you don't, because you're telling people, oh, what will say, oh yeah, the smart thing will be for you to have money working for you. Well, how can you tell that to someone when they live paycheck to paycheck? That's the dumbest thing that someone can say. Compared to, you know, why not upgrade your life, your IT career, in this case, IT, right? And be able to double your income in 1 year. Now you have more money you didn't have before for you to now invest it, right? In somewhere that's going to eventually get you paid back. And yes, having those investments that for that money that you put in to give you now back. Again, you know, it's just so again. So the last time, guys, if anyone I only have two. Okay, I only have two for the coaching program. If that's something that you want to do, great. If not, great too. The other thing is, I know some of you probably already got this. If you want to get like a 30-minute conversation with me, let's do it. Let's do one-on-one, 30-minute, and I can give you everything that I have. I will not offer you anything. Let's do it, just one-on-one. The only thing that I ask is for you to get that blueprint and for you to go through all the videos. And it's worth it. It's so worth it. I never, ever, ever got any, how do you say, money back. No, it's money back. How do you say that? Jesus, I'm complain, and it's refund. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. A refund. I never got a refund on the blueprint. I blow your fucking mind in 57 videos and exercises. Okay, thank you, Alex. A refund. There we go. And I know there are a few of you here that already went through that, and this is a really great course. Okay, but yeah, again, guys, that's for the blueprint. Get it if you get it, and if then you end up going through all 57 videos and do the exercises. There's a way for you to reach out back to me, and we have a 30-minute conversation. Just you and me. You and me. Tell me more about what's going on in your life. Give me that picture, where you are in your personal life, where you are in your IT career. Do you want to upgrade? Are you new? What are your beliefs, the stories that you have right now, how to get to a high paying job and how to take your life to the next level? Like, tell me all that. And I can really work with you and plan it out. And how can you like make it happen? I have done it with so many students, not just one, many. And yeah, so I really cannot wait for me to help all of you. I'm late. Okay. So I really have to go. So yeah, I wish I can share a few other things with you guys, but I have to go. Now, Jacine Ben said, CCNA, CCNP core, and MCSA, all I want is a job, bro. Now, if you apply, and this is good, if you apply for a job and have all those certifications, not good. If you come up to me and you're new and you have that CCNP and core, that's really bad. Very, very bad. When is the next live? Oh, let me tell you something, guys. On Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, I'm gonna do a live every day from Friday to Monday. I'm gonna do a 30 to 45-minute live. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. That way you get notified. And this is why, because I'm not gonna be here in Chicago. I'm gonna be in Puerto Vallarta. So I'm gonna fly to Mexico. I'm gonna be in that weekend in Puerto Vallarta. I'm gonna be there on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So I'm gonna be doing lives every day from there. Because I really want to share with you my story. I want to share with you what allowed me to be here and to really be able to provide to my family. Because, a lot of people focus on having the IT certifications, and I'm like, no, what really inspires me is this, being able to provide those experiences to my family, and I know for a lot of you, that's kind of the same thing. Brandon joined. That's the guy earning 245K. That's the guy. So reach out to them. No, reach out to him. Brandon, that's the guy earning 245K. That's one out of 3 students that are earning a lot more than me and one full-time job. So if he takes his full-time job, one of them, he has 2. But if he takes one of them, the one that pays the most, he beats me. There are 3 students in my coaching that beat me based on full-time, because I still have a full-time job. 3 students already beat me. 3 of them. Okay. And I'm glad. I'm not jealous. I'm so fucking glad. And I'm like, bro, like, let's get to 180K, man. Obviously, he's earning 245 because he has 2 jobs. Lucky bastard. But it's good. You see, and by the way, for those of you that don't know, Brandon, 1 year ago, tell him, Brandon, tell him, he was working on the help desk. 1 year ago, he was working on the help desk, earning 60K. 60K, guys, 1 year, not fucking 5, not fucking 10 years ago. 1 year ago, Brandon was earning 60K. now 245. You think the IT certifications will get you there? Like really? You think just, and obviously he took some of these. Don't get me wrong. He took not one. He took a few IT certifications, but not because he ended up getting the IT certifications, end up getting those jobs. Again, there's a lot more to it. But yeah, I'm glad you joined, Brandon. And Brandon, I have at 9:30 in a few minutes. I'm gonna join the call with the students. Okay, so make sure you're there, Brandon, because I'm gonna share some a few things. Okay, I'm gonna share 5 questions, a script that you and how to reach out to people. So it's gonna be sick. There we go. So again, guys, again, this works. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, guys, I really have to go because I have to jump into my group coaching call with my students. Man, I'm on 130K, Brandon 145K, one job. I'm gonna have to put the work the next few months so I can be Brandon. I'm gonna put you back in second place now. I need to get to 150K, man. You know, that's a good thing about the group. We compete, and it's really good. I mean, it's really good because we compete to one another in a good way, and we all care for each other. All of us going somewhere in life, and that's exactly the type of a group that you need. People they're doing things, not talk about things. They're doing things. That way, that inspire you. If other people are doing it, why not you? Why not you? It's for you to look at Brandon and be like, bro, you were in a help desk earning 60K last year. Now you're earning 245K. What the hell did you do, man? And obviously, man, I'm telling you. Have to go, guys. Brandon, sign out, man, because we need to jump into that group call. So, everyone, I have to go. I have to go. But once again, if you're ready, I only have 2 spots. If you're ready for the coaching program, do not apply. Read the details first. And once you read the details, if that's something that you want to pursue with me, let me know. We can make it happen. Okay? Francisco Santos, in less than 4 years. That can happen in 1 year, my friend. That can happen in 1 year. Okay? So again, guys, you want to make this happen, apply for that coaching, man. Freaking do that. Anyways, I have to really go. Everyone take care, and I will talk to you soon.